It's James Steinhubel on TVU, the Faith Channel, and we have Lisa Marshman, the Public Executive Secretary for the Church of Scientology here in Edmonton. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Excellent. Good. It's good to see you. Good to have you on the show. Now, how are you guys doing there? How's the team? How's the ministry team? How are the parishioners?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of challenges. We are closed to the general public. We do have people on hand that are running extension courses. So we do have some different extension courses and on the lectures and the writings of L. Ron Hubbard that one can learn. We always have people available to talk to other people if they need it. Anybody that emails in or calls us, I'm always available to talk to somebody as well.
That's good. That's good. And so, you guys are a busy, you're a healthy, active faith community, spiritual community. So how are you staying in touch? How's it going? Like, how are you communicating?
We have a lot of meetings online. We have group chats on WhatsApp. We have different ways of communicating. We have, the online platform is amazing because you can just do, meetings like this. And we do once a week, we get together with all of the um, children, our parishioners' children, and we teach them little things about Scientology and about different things like the reactive mind and Dianetics and stuff like that.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
then right after that, we have all of our parishioners come on and they start to join us, and we do a lecture online for them. We have also been holding our graduations that we do weekly at our church. We've been holding them online as well. So,
Oh, good.
you
Good.
can imagine how many people get onto those. Those are pretty cool.
Yes. Yes. So, how's everyone absorbing the new technology? Like, there's got to be a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of shaking with it.
Oh, absolutely. It, it's a learning curve for some of our older members for sure to get on or to unmute themselves or so it's a lot of fun, but we are getting through it, and it's just a way to adapt, right?
Yes. Now, you're part of a national organization and also an international organization, and you guys have a vast amount of online resources. And now, you've your team and your international teams come up with some good resources. And I'm talking about the Stay Well program. I'm just going to share
Oh
screen,
yes.
and maybe you can just share this, and then okay. So we got the got Scientology.org/stay well. So this is the How to Stay Well Prevention Resource Center. Why don't you tell us about this?
Well, this was set up when all of this hit. Actually, it was set up very, very quickly within days of we saw what was going on with things that were happening in China and stuff like that. And so these booklets were made available for all of our parishioners, all of our staff, and this website was put up. And as we went through, how to keep yourself well, safe and well, and then masks and gloves were started to be required, and isolation started happening, and the importance of understanding exactly how this thing spreads. And then we have available, these are all free resources that are available to anybody. And we have available different posters that you can download and you can
Mhm.
use as well.
You know, a lot of what Scientology and the origination of Scientology, Dianetics, deals with is anxiety and different things that happen to people as they react to new situations. And I'm seeing that you have a free course here. It's called
Yes,
Solutions for a Dangerous Environment. Tell us about that.
that's correct. We have a lot of different things that we deal with, and all of these courses are on this website are free. But this one in particular teaches you, about the different things in the environment and how it uh, may cause, upset and anxiety, and how to get out of it, because we don't always know how to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's
And
so good.
it's easy, and you can just, it's like very simple. You just watch a video, you answer some questions,
Mm-hmm.
and get the tools right away.
And I'm just wanting to see if the main page will pull up here, Scientology.org. It's just, I apologize. The internet's just slow, so we'll stop that share. But that's good. Those are excellent, excellent resources. Now, we just touched on a little bit on Dianetics. What what can you share about you know Dianetics, and how that can help people in this time?
Well, Dianetics, I mean, let's define Dianetics first. Dianetics means through thought or through the mind. Basically what the mind is doing to the body, and how we react and act towards things. There's different points in our life where bad things have happened to us, and those bad things that have happened to us are recorded into this reactive part of our mind,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not there under our control. So
Mm-hmm.
if we react to something and it's a very high reaction that really shouldn't um, be that way, then there's obviously something that's being re-stimulated within that reactive mind. And that's where anxiety comes from, the doubts and the fears come from.
So, what kind of things, like, people, I'm hearing about, in families, people are arguing, or some other people are just going quiet,
Mm.
or, some people are, just demonstrating, different behavior. Like, what kind of insight would, Dianetics, help people with that kind of situation?
Well, understanding about the reactive mind is very important. Understanding how it works, and there are tools to be able to get rid of that reactive mind so you're not reacting. But one thing that I would suggest, for right now, because unfortunately you can't come to a Dianetic seminar and learn about the reactive mind.
Mm-hmm.
However, you could go to dianetics.org
Mm-hmm.
and learn about the reactive mind. But the best thing right now for those people that are feeling that anxiety is get out in your environment and look around. We're in our houses, and a lot of our houses, I mean, yeah, you get some sunlight and stuff like that. But when you go outside and you're feeling like here's you and there's your husband and you're just back and forth. Well, if you take a walk and you go that way, and he takes a walk and he goes that way, and you both go around the block, and you keep going around the block until you feel better, both of you feel better, and you're back to kind of square one, right? Because what happens is our viewpoints get like this. We're on computers all day. We're on, our electronics, our iPads and our cell phones, which are even smaller than our computers. And we don't have much space. Like there's, very little space between you and that computer.
Mm-hmm.
So your space goes like this. But when you go for a walk and you get more space, you're able to come out of those upsets and those anxieties a lot better.
That's that's excellent. And you know what, I go for a walk, every day, and as you were saying that when I'm, because you can go for a walk and you just put your head down, and it's no different than sitting
That's
in
right.
front of your computer. But when you take time to, look at things, everything, right? And
Yeah.
so I guess it's a refocus, or what would that be? How is that named in
We
Dynetics?
call it getting your anchor points out.
Getting your anchor points.
So when your anchor points, or your line of vision,
Mm-hmm.
basically,
Yep.
when you're at a computer, your line of vision is right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
When you go outside, your line of vision or your anchor points are on the different big things around you.
That's good.
And they become a lot more clearer as you're walking, and things will be brighter and you'll feel better.
Now, what about situations where, people just aren't communicating? Like what, we're at home now, we're in day 45, we're both working, you happen to own a, radio station, online radio station, TV station, and for instance, and and your spouse is a, high performing interior stylist who's running her business from home, and
Right.
you have times where your communication is not right. Is it, what kind of, I like this anchor point one. What could we do with that? Like, how could we improve our communication?
Look at your goals together.
Hmm.
This is a time right now where you are both home.
Hmm.
And just look at, like we have a course called Setting and Achieving Our Goals, and we learn about an administrative skill
Hmm.
in there. And that's how things align, your goals and your purposes, how they align with each other, and where are you going in your relationship.
Mm.
We get into this everyday grind, and we don't look at, what are our goals?
Mm.
And we're just like, okay, we just got to get through the day. Okay, we're just getting through the week, and our creations and the ideal scene that we're working towards, it always kind of just goes by the wayside.
Mm. Mhm. There's two things that
So,
you said there that I
yep,
want to kind of fall through on. Now, these courses, these life improvement courses, tell me about those.
we have 19 different life improvement courses.
Mm.
So, whatever it is that you're struggling with, may it be children, may it be teenagers, may it be finances, your own marriage, there's a course on that. You
Nice.
know, if you're struggling with self-confidence, there's a course on that. If you're struggling with, feeling like you're always doing this roller coaster in life, we have a course on that to help you.
And so, and these are online right now too.
They are not, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay.
They are available for you when we come back and we open,
So
for sure.
it's through like, like paper courses in a classroom type thing.
That's right. You have
Very.
a supervisor there who is very
Oh,
well
really?
trained. And the
Wow.
supervisor, he's not there to teach you.
Okay.
The supervisor is there to make sure you're getting the material. All your material is in your book.
So this is a very dynamic learning environment, and so it's something you can be very much a part of. That's that's very interesting. So now you have the other aspect of what's going on. So you have Dianetics, and then you have Scientology. Just
Yep.
briefly, what what's the difference? Where did they come from, and so why are they both there?
So Dianetics started first. In 1950, L. Ron Hubbard wrote the book Dianetics. He actually wrote a couple of books before that, but they were published in newspapers and in medical journals. And then he came out with the book Dianetics in 1950.
Hmm.
Um, at that time, he was a naval officer, and he was realizing that, these guys that were um, at um, at the hospital, and they weren't getting better. He realized that there was something going on.
Hmm.
So he started doing research, and this is where he came up with Dianetics.
Hmm.
From there, he did more research and realized that there's more to a person than just his mind and his body.
Hmm.
There's also the person, the spiritual being himself.
Hmm. Hmm.
And this is where Scientology came in, because Scientology is really dealing with that spiritual being. So
Okay.
as his research progresses, you can follow it, and all of our parishioners and anybody that wants to do a course right now can do one through extension course and
Okay.
follow the progression of Dianetics and Scientology all the way through.
Mm.
There are, I don't even have the number of lectures and books right now, but there are a lot,
Hmm.
and it will keep you going for a long time.
And from I suppose I have a lot more Dianetic and Scientology information that's passed through me
Yep.
than most, but certainly less than what people who are you know very very busy at it. What I noticed was that there's elements of Scientology and Dianetics, but there's also elements of Dianetics in Scientology. So it was good that you were interested. You said that it was a continual line of study. You know that,
Exactly.
and L. Ron Hubbard. He's very, very interesting. When you search him on Google, it comes up with L. Ron Hubbard quotes, and there it gives you four, and these
Hmm.
are so interesting. Never regret yesterday. Life is in you today, and you make your tomorrow.
That's correct.
Isn't that good?
Yep.
Here's the next one. A culture is only as great as its dreams. A culture is only as great as its dreams, and its dreams are dreamed by artists.
That's right.
That's so good. And then the wrong thing to do about any given circumstance or situation is to do nothing.
That's right.
And then the last one, boldness in itself is genius. Those are all so good and very pertinent for the time. We've got,
Absolutely.
you can't look at yesterday, right? Our artists are just pouring out onto the internet. Everybody's realizing, we have to get up and do something,
Yeah,
and that we find our genius in our boldness.
that's right.
Such
I don't
positive
know
things.
if you had a chance to take a look at the smile video that we put out.
I did,
It's
yes.
it's also, those are all Scientology artists.
Mhm. And I think that's very pertinent for the time, right?
Hmm.
So I wish the local Scientologists, because I'm sure there's many, many fine musicians, did their own compilation. Then I could put it on TVU and Radio U, because we're all local, which is so awesome. That we're so grateful that you came in. How do people get a hold of you?
So the best way to get a hold of us right now is to email us, edmonton@scientology.net.
Okay.
Or you can also call into our church. There is somebody that is monitoring the phones. So at 780-425-3662. And they're monitoring the phones, and then they'll just pass on a message to me as to if somebody new has called, or if somebody has any questions, then everything gets passed on to me.
Thank you. And there's much more, and I look forward to future visits, because there's much more to talk about. You're in your own right are a community leader and a community champion, and what you do for a living, and all these things. We'll get to that next time.
Absolutely.
How you're involved, with the faith community in Edmonton is
Hmm.
just fantastic. But coming from that point, and from the experience and training that you have as a Scientologist, but also as a staff member, a minister in in, uh, in the community, and seeing where Edmonton's at. We've come. It seems that we're still at the peak, but we're seeing that things are going to start changing. You're seeing how people are responding. What words of you know pertinence and meaning could you share with our viewers and listeners today?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is we have to be kind to each other. You know, um, everybody is going through their different struggles. And the more kind we are, more understanding, more compassionate we are with each other, uh, the faster we're going to get through this. Um, it's one thing that I did notice, sometimes when I'm out, people are impatient, and they're just like wanting to do what they want to do right now.
Mhm.
And that's not the way it is at this point. The businesses are trying to keep us safe, and we have to understand that and be kind to each other, and understand that that person that is stopping you from going into the bank right now because they want to keep all the 50 staff in the bank, or however many staff they have in the bank, safe as well, and they're asking you those questions. So then you have to make sure that you are also understanding that and knowing that that is a person on the other end of that talk.
Mhm.
And we do have our volunteer ministers. One thing I did want to mention
Certainly,
is
go
that
ahead.
we do have our volunteer ministers that are available. We have a very good disinfecting machine
Mhm.
that was sent to us by international management. And as soon as things start to open up, we have our volunteer ministers that will be getting the Stay Well booklet out,
Mhm.
so we don't face another one of these outbreaks. because the importance of teaching um, people and having people understand how to continue to be well is very important. I mean, I don't want to have to be shut down again, and I don't think anybody else does either. So
Hmm.
we will be getting these out to our general public for available.
So,
And anybody that wants to, have their space disinfected,
mhm.
we will be available on hand, and you just have to call in and we can arrange that.
So what's the technology? Just that's very interesting. Explain the disinfectant technology you're going to be using.
I'm just going to run over. I'm taking my computer. I'm just going to run over and plug it in because it's got like 5 minutes
Okay.
remaining. But the technology is high grade. Like we did a lot of research on the military, we did a lot of research on the what is the best disinfectant to kill any virus,
Hmm.
any bacteria. And we found that Decon 7 is the best disinfectant. And this Decon 7 kills any virus, any germ, any bacteria that's in the air and, that's sitting on whatever the surface may be. We use the fogging machine, which just sprays a light mist, and then we leave it for half an hour and it does its job, and then you wipe everything down.
So community halls, churches, schools,
Absolutely.
seniors, residences, shopping malls, residences, people's homes. They can just give you a call, and you got your volunteer ministers will come.
Exactly.
That is so nice. That's so kind.
Yes. Yes, and
That is
it's of
awesome.
no cost to anybody.
That is so good. Lisa Marshman, Public Executive Secretary for the Church of Scientology here in Edmonton. It has been so wonderful to have a visit with you today,
It's been great to talk with you as well. Thank you.
and I look forward to many more in the future.
Absolutely.
Okay, bye now.
Goodbye.